what USC has been able to do here just in the past week is, even though the traditional National Signing Day has been cast aside as being insignificant, there were a few stragglers out there, and USC took advantage to close out a class that is not going to wow people that are locked into recruiting rankings. I still think that they're extremely meaningful. 18th to 20th in the country, in that range, about 5th in the Big Ten, but a couple of significant late signings last Wednesday, Matt.
Yeah, so I think in terms of the storylines for the arrivals of Ratumana Bulabulavu, the pass rusher, and then linebacker Jaden Walker, several storylines. I think what makes these additions important, defense, that they're coming on the defensive side of the ball. That's where USC needs more reinforcements, although like USC can use another offensive tackle or two. But still, by and large, USC needs more help on defense than offense. So these are defensive reinforcements. The other thing, defensive balance, in that you're getting a pass rusher and you're getting a linebacker. So you're not duplicating at any one spot. You're getting help at multiple levels of the defense. A third storyline, these are both Big Ten flips or Big Ten changes. Bulabulavu was a decommit from Washington. And again, Washington is now a Big Ten football program, right? So you're taking away from a Big Ten competitor there. And Jaden Walker was a flip from Michigan State. So Jonathan Smith doesn't get a linebacker. So not only is USC adding, but it's taking from two of its competitors in the 2024 Big Ten. So really, on a number of levels, that's the value of these additions. And then, of course, the other part, which I will consistently bring up whenever I'm talking about new USC defensive recruits, you're getting guys who are going to be coached by good coaches. With Tackett, we saw this with Tackett Curtis. We saw this with Domani Jackson. I don't have a dim view of them as players. I have a dim view of the coaches who couldn't develop them. Alex Grinch, Dante Williams, they are out of here. And we now have really good developmental coaches in place. So, it was hard to get too excited for defensive recruits these past few years because you worried, but is Alex Grinch going to be able to develop them? Now we don't have that worry. Now we don't have that headache, that uncertainty, that cartoon rain cloud hovering over. Now you know that these defensive prospects coming in, they're going to get quality coaching. So that makes me very confident that these new pieces, you're going to see a much higher success rate. Like nothing in recruiting is guaranteed, but I would think that on balance, you're going to see USC hit a higher percentage, in terms of splashes versus busts. Now that it has the defensive coaching staff, it's going to turn Bulabulavu into a good player. It's going to turn Jaden Walker into a good player. And also, there's the reality that Isaiah Rubin, it was never felt that the defensive back was going to go anywhere else but USC. But we just had the lingering reality that he hadn't actually put his ink on paper. Finally did that. So everyone can exhale with Isaiah Rubin. So USC is getting reinforcements at each level of its defense, and knowing that good defensive coaches are going to develop these guys. That's really part of the value. It's not just adding the depth and the bodies and the balance, but it's also knowing that they're going to be coached up right.
Our buddies Joey and Jackson reminding everyone that we've got merch for everyone. I believe the link's in the chat. If not, we will get it in the chat. And we've got some new USC merch coming from the Voice of College Football as well. So check it out. And again, Tim, we miss you tonight. Get well, buddy. Matt, we understand that you were on the Ocho tonight.
Yeah, so John D'Adamo of the Michigan channel at the Voice of College Football, had me on for a half hour, and he asked me what I was most concerned about with USC heading into 2024, and I told him that I think the real pivot point, the ultimate tension point, where if it goes in the right way, USC can be awesome. And if it goes the wrong way, USC is going to linger in mediocrity. the answer I gave to John on the Ocho at the Michigan channel was Josh Henson. I think Josh Henson and the way he develops the offensive line, and of course, we'll see if he can add a piece to the puzzle in the spring transfer portal. I think that has so much to do with how well USC can be or will be in 2024. And the thing I also pointed out to John, which longtime watchers of this show know, but I'm going to say it again just in case there are some new faces in the crowd. Joe DiMaggio would say, I need to play hard every day because I never know when a kid's going to be watching me for the first time. So kind of the same ethos here. I don't know if someone's watching me for the first time here at the Voice of College Football. The thing that I've said over and over again, in terms of Josh Henson and the USC offensive line is that, if you're a Benny Wiley skeptic, as I am, it wasn't just the failure to develop the defense and get strong man-eating monsters on defense. It was also that the offensive line didn't perform all that well in 2023. So how the offensive line, it's going to have something to say about Benny Wiley, not just Josh Henson. And so if that position group knocks it out of the park, then we can know that Benny Wiley's on the right track. Then we can know that Josh Henson's on the right track. And because Lincoln Riley has fully repaired the defensive staff, that would tell me everything's in alignment with this coaching staff at USC. So the offensive line remains my number one pressure point. I don't think anything could possibly change that unless there's like an injury at quarterback or some other kind of seismic development. How that offensive line performs is really the number one question for me. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that is the number one question right now at USC.